I'm your host, Canna, and today we're getting into day 2 of our fermentation of our mead. We did all of our prep yesterday to get our mead into must, the basic start of a wine. We added in our day 1 nutrients. We turned around and got our yeast added in and got to the start of fermentation. I did a little bit of modification to the box that the kit comes in. Portable dark place for it, ultimately. But we're going to open up our kit. And we're going to bring out our jug. Box out of the way for now. Okay. So, we've got our mead. Now, technically at this point, it's day 2. Yesterday, I would have considered this nothing more than must on the starting baselines of being a mead. Today, it is a mead. The yeast are going good. A few things that you want to double check. You want to make sure that your airlock's bubbling. As you can see, ours is. You want to make sure that you've got a good amount of activity inside, nice amount of bubbles down the list. That tells you that the yeast are doing their job. Right now, we've got plenty of bubbling, which means these yeast are nice, healthy, happy, and are definitely converting those sugars as we speak. Okay? Now, like we were talking about yesterday, when you buy the kit, they're going to turn around and send you your sanitizer, your day 1 yeast, and, your yeast and your day 1 packet of nutrients along with a day 2 and 5 packet of nutrients. Okay. We've already taken our day 2 and 5 packet of nutrients. We pre-prepped this earlier. We threw it into a container, weighed it out, and got half of it put back into the packet so that way we can reserve that for day 5. But at the moment in time, we have half of those nutrients over in the container over here. That's what we're going to be adding in today. But before we do that, we need to turn around and degas this mead. Degassing, basically all you're doing is taking all of that extra built up CO2 and releasing it. Hopefully very cautiously, or else we might just end up with a just flow of foam coming out of this jug. So it's really simple, guys. To degas it, all you're going to do, just going to take off your airlock, put that off to the side, somewhere where it's safe and clean. And we're just going to start turning around and agitating this mead just a little bit. You don't want to do it too hard. You don't want to go too heavy. You just want to work that gas out. You're probably going to be doing this for a few minutes at least. So for my life, for the next few minutes, that's all we're going to be doing. Agitate it. Get it bubbling, get it fizzing, give it a little stir. If it's not bubbling up too much, you can get a little more energetic. You want to keep an eye on where all that foam is at. You don't want it going out through the top. Okay? But for the next few minutes, this is just going to be our life. Just rolling it around, getting all the extra CO2 that we can out of there. And believe it or not, our yeast are going to thank us for this later. Because you can get too much CO2 for your yeast to stay happy. CO2 in the long run, it can harm them if too much builds up. So this is technically a very vital step in the process. Alright. Now we can get a little more vigorous with it. Don't want to let it foam up too far. Don't want to let it go through the neck. What was that over there?
I said, treat it like a virgin.
Oh, very funny. By all rights, this is nearly a virgin meat. I mean, they've only had a day to be working on their content.
That's good. Treat it like a bird. I brought you gifts.
Give it a moment, give it a moment. We don't want it going over the top. 1 second, everybody. Ooh, WD equipment. And back to shaking we go. See, I'm going to presume already that the chat's probably broke. Especially when we keep bouncing numbers, but it seems like no messages roll through. But honestly, I can't stop long enough to be able to reset this stream in the process, because once we start this process, we've got to complete it. So, for the next few minutes, folks, just feel free to chat amongst yourselves in the background. I'm sorry that we're not getting the messages in to be able to answer them, but we'll turn around and restart this stream here in a moment and make sure that that fixes itself. A few notes from yesterday's stream, okay? 1, do not drink the top of this if you're going to pull it off. Yeast babies making liquor in your stomach is not very fun. Hey, Exotic, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so maybe our chat's not broken. But yeah, you definitely don't want to drink the first portion of this on the first day, especially if you're pulling it off because you made the mistake of overfilling your jug.
I wonder how you know that, Canna.
Hey, it was fun for the yeast babies to turn around and play in my belly last night, but it does give you a bit of a headache if you're not careful.
A bit? You had a migraine.
Verge of. Hey, Samantha, welcome, welcome, welcome. So like we were saying, everyone, when it comes down to it, this is just going to be our lives for the next few minutes. We're going to turn around and have literally nothing better to do than just shake out the fact of the CO2 and the carbonation inside of it. We need to boil it down, we need to break it down, and get it to where we can add these nutrients in with hopefully not causing ourselves a geyser worth of foam out of this jug. They're getting to the point now where, truth be told, we might just be able to get away with adding in the nutrients at this point.
Is anybody else reminded of orange juice right now? Pulpy orange juice?
Oh, I am so reminded of the color of pulpy orange juice, but I'm not going to even remotely treat this as though it was orange juice, because if it was orange juice, I would not be going through all this work. That would not, in my opinion, make a very good outcome. It'd be very acidic, it'd be very tanniny, it'd probably be quite bitter by the end of it.
Well, you're not supposed to... I can't say that. That YouTube would not like me.
How's it going, X-Me Pex? Alright. Maybe one more round of spinning. One more round of stirring up. And as we said before in the last show, folks, it's not truly a science. Part of it is an art. You don't have to be super technical when it comes down to mead. As long as everything that you use to make it has been sanitized first, you should be good. I might be a little bit more OCD about the amount of actual CO2 that I'm releasing out of here. You know, truth is, right now, we'd probably be just fine to turn around and add in the fact of our nutrients. Because altogether, we've been stirring it up for about 2 minutes, which is about what they say to do. But, I don't know. Better safe than sorry, right?
You could also overturn them.
Yes, but it's also a matter of how thick those bubbles are, too.
Yeah.
And they're thinning out to the point that I feel comfortable with starting to actually get the nutrients in there. So, as we were saying earlier, we turned around, we got our day 2 and 5 nutrients, we poured them out into a container that was already zeroed out on our scale. Altogether, the packet held like 6.6, 6.7 grams worth of nutrient break that in half, you're basically looking at like 3.3 grams. So that's what we got in the container here to add in. We're going to turn around and do this in stages to where, as we said, hopefully we don't get a giant geyser of foam coming out of here. But if we do, you know, hey, that's all the more comedy for you guys. But we're going to try not to allow that to happen. Okay?
The smell alone can get you tipsy.
I would really rather it not foam up past where this orange cord is. Okay? So, we're going to go and try to do this. Alright, Mom, good thing that you're back at the house. You're just in time to watch the possibility of the geyser that could occur out of this from the nutrients going in. Don't do it, don't do it,
Oh,
don't
it's
do
going
it, don't
to.
do it, don't do it. Don't. Oh, you're going to. You suck. Oh, you suck. I need that roll of paper towels off the there. Like right up on top of the sink.
Oh, dog. Which sink?
That sink.
Oh, dog.
Fuck. Great. This is gonna be fun. Oh, what a joy, what a joy, what a joy. And I'm just gonna have to deal with this as we go, because if not, I'm not gonna get these nutrients in. So I guess just be prepared for the eventuality that you're gonna run in to this. We're gonna keep smacking the bubbles down for now and working on them. And we'll add some more nutrients in a moment when this stops trying to overflow all over the place. Nothing ever goes easy, does it?
Seems to be slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, well, I might have overshot the quarter mark on the nutrients too. So, but it's okay. Just keep smacking them for a minute. Okay. Now they're acting. No, I know. I thought I was about the quarter mark and it turned out about half, but now we can just start pinch setting these in. But yeah, I probably should have added them in a bit slower than I did. We get another chance on day 5, so we'll see if the geyser returns. Alright. Build our nutrients.
Woo.
Oh yeah, the smell of the wine alone at this point is enough to just permeate the air.
Oh,
I mean, just the airlock alone is enough to permeate, but yeah.
It just got really strong.
Oh yeah. Alright. Hold on to that for a second. Okay. It's gonna suck. It was coming. We got to get them mixed and spun around a little bit at least. I'll let them settle down. And once they settle down, we can add that airlock back on. Actually, I'm going to pull the airlock for now. Better chance to battle the bubbles that way. Joy, oh joy. Thankfully, we only have to do this one more time in the next, 3 days. And then after that, we get to leave it alone, basically, minus the fact of degassing it by spinning it. Okay? So, messy bits are almost done. Alright. Now I need the other. There we go. Get you back in. Get you back on. Let you bubble away. Lift you up a little bit. You're just a wee bit too far into the stopper. There we go. Oh no, I know.
The bell's on me.
Well, it'll either be done or nearly done. Because keeping in mind, all of this color right here, all that cloudiness, that should turn clear.
Ish.
Well, remotely clear. It's still going to have that yellow color to it. But honestly, I just found myself over the last hour or so just watching the fact of the airlock as it bubbles. Because if you notice, it pops up on average almost perfectly every single second. It's nearly a perfect 1 second timer. Let's see. Let's see. Need that. We need the marker. Oh no, I know it will. I know it will. But ultimately, reality's sake is it's that timeline of how long to let it set to be able to turn around and clarify and actually finish out through the process. Because even after fermentation's done, it still needs to sit for a little bit to be able to clear up. That can still take anywhere from a week to 8 weeks on the outside. So I'm looking at it that this is probably going to be either a Halloween, a Thanksgiving, a Christmas, or a New Year's. Or maybe a few of each. Because reality's sake is I could probably stretch it across 2 or 3 different holidays if we do it right. Depending on when we bottle it and how clear it is when we bottle it. Let's see. 9-16. Because we're going to start the label with today's date. Added nutrient. Part 2. And our time is 4:10. So 3 days from now, at 4:10 in the afternoon, we'll be playing with this bottle again.
Looks like the foam's slowing down.
Oh, the foam's going to slow down. They're going to settle out. It was just a matter of trying to keep it from becoming a full-blown geyser. I mean, yeah, the bubbling effect, that is what that is, but I would take that over a geyser any day of the week. Honestly. Okay, let's see. Now we're going to take that one. We're going to peel off the old time sticker because the old time sticker is no longer valid. Because you want to keep your 24-hour markers from the time that you finished the step, not from when you start the step, when you finished your last step.
Common mistake.
So where today was 350, in 3 days' time, it's not going to be 350, it's going to be 410. We're going to have to start on that a little bit later than what we started it today. But with that, we're going to stick on our second label as that reminder of when it was done and which portion was finished. We're going to take that last little portion of our label with our time. We're going to stick that on underneath. Waiting on it for the next label to go. And then ultimately, on day 5, when we put in our second half of our nutrients for the 2 and 5 mix, we're going to end up putting down the label for the date that it was done, added nutrients, part 3, and then we're going to basically more or less only have to degas it for the next, well, day 6, day 7, 20 odd days, basically. 24 days, somewhere in there. Oh, I know Great Grandma Barb would say it'd be at least 6 weeks. Great Grandma would be saying this isn't going to be ready until New Year's when it's totally 100% cleared up and guaranteed that it's clear.
I agree with your grandma.
Yes. Hello, Brittany. Hello. But for what it's worth, at this point in time, I do have a few notes over yesterday. We got the live stream actually up and got it produced out for public. That one did not give us any hassle. The video recording, on the other hand, gave us a major issue. We have not been able to upload the video from yesterday for the 4 separate sections. Each section is almost as much data as the entire live stream itself. So we're going to hold on to those. And for those that are watching this, if this gets out, ultimately, same notation. The third portion of this is probably going to take longer to be able to get out there. We'll see if we can fix that in the long run or if we can do anything to make that better. But keeping in mind, guys, we've got our video backups for these that are clear as day that we want to get out there because we know that the live streams go fuzzy, okay? But ultimately, I need to get this back into its containment area, and then we'll go on with the rest of the show. But for those that are on the video section, if and when this video gets out, we'll catch you in the next section. And remember, if you want to turn around and stick around longer with us, definitely remember to tune into the live streams. Not only do they take less time to get out, they also turn around and end up being a lot more interactive with the studio and the members of the studio that are here and in it and down the list. If you really want to be a part of the studio and actually have some real fun, join us on the live streams. But until the next one, this is Vancana, signing off. There we go. Video's done. I doubt that it's going to get out in time, but I'm going to go put this away for a moment, and then we'll be right back.
Did I collect them? Okay. Okay, it's back in. Back in its cabinet.
I can put away, and then I can do this. Because we're not using the camera at this point, I can unplug you, turn you, put that there. There. Okay. Alright. So, day 2 of meat prep is done. While we're on the subject, does anybody have any questions at all towards the process or towards what we're doing or down the list? Yeah, great grandma would have definitely said 6 weeks to begin with. Honestly, she'd be looking at that probably as a Thanksgiving wine and or closer to Christmas. I really can't truly argue with her mentality there because I think that's probably about how long it's going to take for it to clear up. But, you know, we can always turn around and taste it at the 30-day mark and then decide how much we're going to put away to be able to age and get better. No, it is not flavored. It is just straight honey mead. For those that haven't had honey mead, it's a little difficult to explain.
It depends on the honey.
It really depends on the honey. It depends on the fact of whether it's a spring honey, a summer honey down the list. But
I believe we're working with
almost like white wine. I would almost want to say, kind of, sort of, like a split between a white wine and a dessert wine. Ultimately, depending on how it's done, how much it's back sweetened down the list.
I think the one you're making now is more of a white.
Oh, it's going to be delicious either way. Either way, it's going to be delicious. As long as it does not turn into vinegar, we're fine. It's going to be good.
It smells like it's doing just fine.
Oh, from the smell of it alone, yeah, it definitely smells like it's doing just fine.
Especially after the
I cracked that cabinet this morning, and it was just, oh, they've been doing their job nicely.
Whew.
Oh, that's the thing. It won't even be bottled until after you're back. That's the reality of that. It's not even going to be time to bottle it until after you're back. Okay, there it is. Yeah, most of it I think is probably going to get put away closer, like Christmas, New Year's.
Shit, you can still smell it from here, and the cabinet's closed.
Oh, it's not just a matter of being able to smell it from here with the cabinet closed. It's the amount that it permeated the air while it was dealing with it. I mean, understand, if you're going to ferment at home, it's going to smell like you're in a wine place. Like,
oh, it smells nice though.
I mean, if you don't like the smell of wine, definitely do not ferment at home or inside the home. Ferment it somewhere else. But ultimately, yeah, the smell of it to me, that smell that smell in itself is almost intoxicating. Just for the amount of work that those yeast are doing right now. So I think in 30 days, we're definitely going to turn around and get somewhere between that 11 and 12% they marked on the kit. Though, as much as I want to let it go, I still can't.
Oh my god.
20-cent metal cap. The company, come on, 20-cent metal cap. I have done everything I can to let that go. I can't let it go. Because part of me just finds it so ironically hilarious that out of everything that was so meticulously noted in the kit, they didn't put a cap in it. And they didn't have a cap in the kit provided. I'm not sure how to feel about it. I'm conflicted. Part of me laughs because I know just how cheap that really is, but that's the same part of me that, though I'm laughing, it's like, come on guys, 20 cents. 20 cents. I know if I was putting the kit out there, I would have put 20 cents in for a metal cap. So, all in all, metal cap aside, it's going to do really good. That one, coffee.
long that's been sitting there now?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, reality's sake is, of course. First glass or two is definitely getting pulled off, and reality's sake is, well deserved. Oh, let's see. No, that one's empty. That's the one I wanted. Alright. Now that that camera's not on, I can actually turn around and end up heating up the fact of nectar collector and get a dabby do.
Okay, dabby do. I don't think the time to clean up yet.
No, so far from what I can tell, it's coming out beautifully. Yeah, I know, my coffee's been sitting there long enough. It's only been, well, I said I ended up going to town what time?
It's been there for 4 hours.
Okay, so like 4 hours ago. Whoops. Hey, it's still good. It's still delicious.
Somehow when it's milk and half,
It's because it's been in the shade.
it's a good thing I covered it.
Though I'm still debating whether I just want to drink the water that I put into the honey bottle, or whether I want to really actually hold off on that and add it into the mead when we turn around and go through the fact of our first racking. But part of me says I don't want to alter what's in that bottle at that point, and that I'm better off just drinking the water.
Okay. That third plant's bothering me.
A replacement on Friday. And that's all I'm going to word that as, a replacement on Friday. I know, part of me says add back the water, but part of me says don't do it. It's going to mess with fermentation ultimately. I know it.
Mm-hmm.
I get that feeling that if I mess with it in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to end up with vinegar.
Or very weak mead.
Well, yeah, because adding the water, it would drop down the ABV on it too.
Mm-hmm.
So what would be a 10-11% might drop down to like a 9, a 10.
Maybe even a 5, depending.
Depending, yeah. Percentages. So instead of debating about the water, I'm just going to drink it. Sincerely, the realist.
Mm-hmm. Jasper, I love you. I love you, Jasper.
Let's see. That box.
You're a terrible fiend.
I need to do that. Do that. Pop that. There we go. Get that box out of the way. Get that one out of the way. That one out of the way. That one out from under my feet. Okay. So, inevitably enough, reality. Outside of adding the nutrients to the meat, I really didn't have a plan for the show today. So I really am kind of piggybacking off of chat at this point, just as a heads up. But, inevitably enough, not sure what to do for the rest of the show, actually.
Wonder if anyone caught what you just about did.
I don't know. Probably not.
He hands me a torch. He hands me the dabs. He tries to hand me a lighter. But not the collector. I have to give you a little bit of crap.
Yeah.
What we got on chat?
ha 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 ha. Half, not even half, basically over half a thing of plain drinking water in a honey bottle.
Does it even have a little bit of sweetness to it?
Nope.
Oh.
I actually did really well about getting all the honey out of that jar.
Alright.
It actually just tastes like water.
Well then.
So, every last drop of that honey got into that jug.
Good. Why don't you do a Q&A? It would work. It'd get you rolling a little.
Well, the thing is, I basically got no viewers at this point.
Oh, shit.
To my knowledge. I mean, outside of mod here, mod there, reality sake is,
Yeah.
nada.
You
YouTube is seriously screwing with my systems.
YouTube screws with everybody.
It's only been getting worse.
Oh, I know it.
I mean, last night trying to upload those 4 videos and having them crash like 3 times. It's not normal. And then on top of that, YouTube decided not only to crash the video, minus the fact of water displacement. Still got to account for the water displacement of the honey. So, reality's sake, ultimately, that water, truth be told, it's never getting back into that jug. I mean, that is the portion of the gallon that would be held off, technically. But, ultimately, there's no real purpose for that water at this point. It's just straight up a remainder. It's left over to drink. Did some double checking, and yeah, it can be done, but it's not advisable to be done to add it back in when you turn around and re-rack. So, being as it's ill-advised, I think I'm going to choose against it.
That's a Scottish chick. Look, if anyone from where I was came back from saw you doing that, man.
It's kind of the equivalent of like watering down whiskey.
Yeah, you think the shot glasses hurt when they hit you. No, have a full pint thrown at your head, and then a couple more after that, and then they'll be okay with you for watering it down.
No, you know what's really, really, really bad about it?
And if it doesn't break, they're not
If
happy.
it wasn't unlawful for U.S. citizens to sell the fact of privately made alcohol, reality's sake is that bottle would pay for the entirety of the kit, all of the supplies, and everything else that was needed for it, and then a little bit more, all with 4 bottles worth. No bigger than...
The gallon?
4 bottles, no bigger than that, would pay off the entirety of that kit, all of the supplies, and the extra supplies needed for the next 2 or 3 batches. Can't legally sell them, though. Because you don't got liquor license.
That might be a cap solution, though. Have you checked to see the size? It looks... No, it might be a little... Well, it might be a little narrow.
750 mil.
Well, I know, I meant the cap on it.
Oh, no, even then.
Is it too small for your top?
No, it's the fact... Well, if you're talking the...
Yes?
Yeah, it's too small for it.
Oh, damn it.
I'm talking for bottling affect. Like, if it was already bottled, I could turn around and bottle that into 4 bottles, and those 4 bottles alone would pay for the kit, all of the supplies, and the extra supplies needed for, like, the next 2 batches.
Well, I got that. That's not what I meant. I was on a different subject at that point.
Yes, you did buy the right pipe. Yes, you did buy the right pipe. And, ironically enough, I'm still kicking myself in the ass over the glass green one. I don't think I'll ever stop kicking myself in the ass for that glass green one, throwing it like a shillelagh.
Wait, why did you... throw it like a shillelagh?
Because Canna had anger problems, and it was the fucking closest thing that was of my possession, and it was nice and heavy.
Nah, I can totally get that, actually.
And I only thought about the fact of what was in my hand and what I had thrown after the fact of hearing the crash of the glass. That is when it registered as to what I had just done.
Yeah, no, I've been there. No, I get it.
I didn't even register what I had in my hand. It was just something heavy at that moment, and I went to go throw it because I was that frustrated and irritated, and yeah, just the sound of shattering glass all over the kitchen. So, yeah, I still kick myself in the ass to this day for that one. I don't usually show it, but it's there. If you would be willing to, yes. And no, this one won't break that simple, no. This one, truth be told, I get pissed off this thing's not even entering my hands. I get pissed off when I'm setting this thing down because I'm not having a repeat. Not like that. Okay, and done right, that's repaid in 3 to 6 weeks. You know, I've got that locked down in the fact of the secondary on finances when it's set to be done. But yeah, if you can still get your hands on Radagast pipe, I would love to turn around and get my hands on it. But specifically Radagast. I still prefer his over Gandalf's. Truth is, I don't think anyone actually would choose Gandalf's over Radagast if they had both of them in their hands at that moment.
I beg to differ.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah. That's still better than Zach turning around and blowing up the freaking custom down stem of the 1-footer. Look, I can be irritated at myself all day long for throwing that Gandalf, okay? Even as a stoner, I can be irritated with myself all day long for throwing that pipe, okay? But Zach blowing up a custom 14mm downstem with a titanium nail because he got told not to reheat it and did it anyway, I still say that tops that Gandalf.
I would say so.
The Gandalf could be replaced, the 14mm downstem could not. And the downstem itself was almost $75, costing half of what the Gandalf did. So, yeah. I still think the downstem kind of, sort of, outsurpasses the Gandalf. But I will state that if I have anything to do for the day, for what it's worth, if I have anything to do for the day, I really don't want to preload this proper, because if I do, nothing for the day is going to get done. I mean, reality's sake is, I know that's how I killed off the end of the dabs last night. Because I couldn't help it. I had to turn around and give it a proper christening. But I know that's what burned through the dabs last night. Do not Do not show the hornet fear, and it will not sting you. Do not show the hornet fear, and it will not sting you. It is a pretty blue thing. See, I figured as much. And I only state it because we warned him, 3 times? I think it was the 3rd time that day, right as the warning was fixing to get thrown, that we heard the tank ping. Though I will give him credit where credit's due. He did offer to pay to have it replaced. I will give him credit where credit's due on that. But yeah, if you're borrowing someone's piece and they tell you not to do something with that piece, don't do it. What time am I planning on cutting? Well, we're at 4:37 right now. Showing 46 on the timer. Considering how slow today is going, truth, probably cut it here in about the next 14 minutes or so, give or take. Let the timer run up for about an hour and then call it good. I mean, let's get real. With the fact of what YouTube's doing, with the fact of live streams and viewers and down the list. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. At this point, reclaim. And before you ask, yes, I was following what was stated. So, oh God, I can still smell that from over here. That wind just caught the right way. Whew. As long as I keep smelling that smell, I know we're in the good.
Hey, I gotta run. That's thunder, and I've got open windows.
Yep. No, I know he never did. Ah, good for you, Brittany. Good for you. I'm just fixing to melt the last of mine. But yeah, for what it's worth, we've got like a 99% chance that this is actually going to turn out as some really good mead and some really good wine. And reality's sake is, I caught myself while I was over at Dollar General earlier today. Ironically enough, I caught myself over in the fruit juice section looking for grape juice that is just pure juice. I didn't allow myself to start looking at ingredients and getting sidetracked too far with it, but I already know that if this batch goes the way that it's supposed to go, that I've got about another anywhere from $60 to $100 bill that's going out on the fact of equipment. It's just like I know that this week I've got a $20 bill at least going out because I need to get that second carboy and the second fermentation set up and all that, so that way I can get these transferred over into that one for the fact of the next 2 weeks or so. And then re-rack it back into that on the next run. But even after that, we still got another $60 to $80 in equipment and supplies that's necessary. So it's not going to be a cheap hit. ultimately. Okay, now that the studio's empty, I'm going to state this, okay? I followed our agreement. The house tabs that were the house tabs that were there. The ones that you're referring to that I had private permission for, I took my private permission for. Does that tell you how this week has gone? And I'm going to leave it at that. You thought the stress over the phone and the conversations over the phone and the way that my brain was going was bad? The amount that I've gone through this week is even worse. Because it's what, Tuesday? And that was the last of what I got altogether. The strength of that smell should actually stay about the same. Believe it or not. That smell should stay about the same. If that smell changes from what that smell is right now, that is a surefire sign that something is happening, okay? It means either the mead, well, technically, it would be more specifically the yeast have stopped, okay? Oh, great, I hear the thunder. We're going to get a midday storm, and it's sunny outside, so it's going to rain with sunshine. How great for the signal. But, inevitably enough, once your mead stops and the yeast stop fermenting and they stop producing the CO2, you really want to rack it out that final time. You don't want to leave the dead yeast in there. They will cause off flavorings, they will cause off smells, they will cause it to taste funny. You don't want them in there. Inevitably enough, when I say that we've got anywhere from $60 to $100 in equipment and supplies that we still need, ultimately, if I'm being fair, I'm short-setting the cost of that. I'm putting that on the low end. And here's where that comes into effect. Okay? When we started this journey with the mead making process, we started with Walmart. You know, where is somewhere that most anybody in the US able to order from that's pretty much nationwide and is not basically Amazon? Okay? Something that's not Amazon for once, because honestly, Amazon is just taking over everything. So we went to Walmart. We looked up the fact of mead making kit. You know, we found one originally. Truth be told, we probably could have started out for like $20, but we weren't going to have any of the equipment. We would have just had the carboy and the fact of the 3-step for the airlock and the stopper, but we would have got a cap. And I think that's why that's eating at me so bad with the fact of Craft Brew right now and their kit is Walmart for their generic kit. You're looking at like 18 to $20, but even they give you a metal cap to be able to put over your meat at the end. Okay? But ultimately, and notably enough, we've got probably anywhere from $20 to $40 just well, I should be fair, $20 to $60 just in glass carboys. The fact of the airlocks, down the list. Okay? We've then got another $30 and some change that's going to have to go out for the fact of the star sand if we want to continue making more batches after this, which honestly I do. It would be nice to be able to start actually making at home and being able to turn around and just like cut the cost in half or in a third or down the list. But that means we got to sanitize everything. That's at least a $30 hit to start off with. Okay? And then we got the fact of the yeast itself. Well, to get 10 packets of yeast for the same yeast that came with the kit, we're looking at about $12. It's not so bad. Not by any means. Okay? But then you got the bottling kits. Alright, the bottling kits themselves, you're looking at least $40 to $60. All just to be able to turn around and rack it out to final bottling and actually store it and store it properly. So that's $40 to $60 in bottles for every gallon that you make, unless you're drinking a gallon prior and then finishing out. Me, I'm not going to go through that much before the next gallon would be done. So every hit, I'm looking at like $40 to $60 on bottling fees alone. Okay? Tack that all together, we're already looking 100, 120. Just in the baseline. Now, we still do not have our hydrometer to be able to tell us when our fermenting is actually truly finished. Because that is something that we're going to be eyeballing this entire process. That's something we're going to be eyeballing. We can look for the signs that fermentation is done, but there's a bottle a little bit more time than what you would normally have to give Mead to be able to make sure that fermentation is through and that it's not going to turn around and carbonize and explode bottles. That's fun. But ultimately, that's a minimum of 120 right there. Right off top. That's not counting taxes. That's not counting shipping fees. That's not counting the amount of time in between that we're going to have to wait for these things to come in. Okay? I really want to do this. I really want to be able to do this and actually make some home brews that are actually good. I would love to bring the channel along for the journey. But honestly, truth, we're going to run into the same problem with this as we do any other project that we start. And that's funding. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a reason why I've been wearing this shirt during the filming process for the Mead episodes. Okay? It's to remind everyone that, yeah, I may be on YouTube. We may have a channel. I may be the host of the channel. And we may be on live. But don't get it twisted. It's not internet begging. This shirt right here, it's from my employer. Okay? I've got my day job. This is the hobby. Well, one of many hobbies. So, for all those trolls that want to try to call it as internet begging down the list, go ahead and try. It ain't what it is. But for anybody that is a member of the channel, granted, I know that we're not monetized. We don't have memberships yet, but I know that if we did, there's at least a few that would have them. For any of those that consider yourself a member of the channel or that have been around for a while or even they're just joining, if you want to turn around and help in the process and possibly help financially to turn around and actually make this a journey that we can all continue, just know that reality's sake is we do accept donations on Cash App. That is where all the channel donations are currently going due to the fact that we're not monetized. I know that a lot of people are not comfortable with donating off of the YouTube platform itself. Totally understandable. I get it. No push. Okay? But if you do want to, if you go to Cash App and plug in money sign Canna Creator Studios, that'll go directly to the channel. And then it helps pay for the fact of pretty much any journey that we take on the channel to be able to do any form of project or down the list. Alright, I'll let you know. Catch you later, Mom Canna. But yeah, inevitably enough, the journeys that we take on channels, they're not cheap. They never have been, and they're only getting more expensive with time. If anyone really wants to help out and really wants to help support the channel, you got our donation information. Here after this live stream's over, we're going to turn around and put that down in the description for those that catch this live stream after the fact. But honestly, y'all, truth, do I expect any actual donations to roll in? No, I don't. I've been gone for 3 months. You know, I get the impact that that has. But reality's sake is, I hope that the viewers know that with everything that we've been doing from the restart of the show, that we're trying to actually bring it up a notch. We're trying to bring in premises that we can continue with, that we can make actual progress with, and feel like we're actually doing something on the show. Okay? Mama Can, I got that. I'll explain after the show. I thought I had it clearly explained, but apparently I did not. I'll explain after the show. But yeah, truth be told, we're at our hour mark. We're up at an hour 3 at this point, according to the timer. I know that reality's sake is today has been a pretty slow day. Truth is, it's probably going to be a slow day for a while because the algorithm is still trying to find its place to sync me again, because it's treating it like we basically restarted the channel, which I guess in all rights we did. But for what it's worth, if y'all have enjoyed the show, leave a like, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, tell your friends. But for now, y'all, it's been Canna. I'm signing off. See y'all later.